Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here, and we are back with another NBA betting video as of today. We did end up going 2-2 as of right now. I'm recording this on December 1st, pretty late. So, as of December 1st, we did start off the month 2-2 with a pretty even wash. So, that one was kind of unfortunate. So, I'll give a quick recap for it. We had SGA over 21.5 points versus Houston. He ended up hitting that in like the first, or like just after the first half. He ended up with almost 40 points, so he almost doubled that over. We also had the Bucks -8 versus the Hornets. The Bucks honestly just played really, really bad, and the Hornets played really good. So that's just a recipe for disaster. The Bucks ended up winning by 2. I think the Bucks. I was looking at the box scores and stuff. The second leading scorer for the Bucks was Grayson Allen. So I don't think I just don't think you can win a basketball game with Grayson Allen as your second highest scorer. It's not going to happen. Pretty rough night. Then we had Jonas Valanciunas over 11.5 rebounds, was one of my favorite plays, and it really didn't even come close. He kind of got into foul trouble a little bit early. He ended up getting a couple back-to-back rebounds, and it started to look pretty promising. Right after halftime, he was at about 5. And then they were down by 20 or 25 and didn't play from like 8 minutes on in the third all the way through the rest of the game. So nothing you can do about that one. And then we had Trae Young over 26.5 points. He did end up cashing this in the third quarter as well. So, or at the beginning of the fourth quarter, sorry. So, did end up going 2-2. So I'm pretty happy about that. At least, I didn't go 0-4 today. Pretty happy about that. But if you guys are new, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. But I am pretty confident about this this slate of bets here that I have. It is going to be a 5-game slate as of tomorrow. So, you never really know with some of those smaller slates. It's kind of harder to predict some of the games or predict some of the bets, but I really like with what I've got so far. So we're just going to hop right into it. So first play, as you guys know, I'm a huge Chicago Bulls fan. Pretty much every time that the Bulls are on, I will probably be making a Bulls bet, no matter what it is. So that's going to be my first one. I have Lonzo Ball over 4.5 assists versus the New York Knicks, -135 odds. A little bit juiced. But as you guys know, on this channel, I try to provide you guys with winners. I don't really care about if it's juiced or not. I just want to see profit. So that is going to be my first pick. Lonzo has cashed this over in 6 of his last 7 games outright. So he has been passing the ball and getting his teammates open shots very, very consistently. In the last game versus the Knicks, he did end up cashing this. I can't remember. It was like right on the hook, I think. I think it was at 5. But either way, he did end up cashing it. The Knicks also give up 8.3 assists to opposing point guards. So we are a little bit in the clear for that one. And Kobe White did test positive. So due to him testing positive, Lonzo is pretty much the only ball handler besides for DeMar DeRozan. Those two are going to be our primary ball handlers, kind of splitting the possessions. You could see some from Caruso, but Caruso is more of an off-ball player for us, and Io is more of a scorer for us. So those are going to be our 2 main ball handlers. So I think Lonzo Ball is going to get plenty of opportunities here. Next, we have the Thunder and the Grizzlies under 215, -110 odds. I love this bet. This is going to be... This was kind of teetering on the edge for my best bet of the day, but I went with a different one instead. So the Thunder and the Grizzlies under 215, -110 odds. So Grizzlies, of course, they don't have Ja Morant. Hopefully he does get better soon, but we do know that he's going to be out for a long while. So the Grizzlies without Ja Morant in their last game against the Toronto Raptors, they only put up 98 points. So they're not necessarily the best scoring team without Ja Morant. Ja Morant does a lot of scoring for that team, and he gives them, 20-something a night. So taking that out of the rotation is definitely a hard loss for sure. The Grizzlies they don't really have a whole lot of scoring without him, and So I don't know where all the scoring is going to come from. I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to have a big night. I did consider his over in points, but I decided to go just with the under instead. And then the Thunder, a little stat from them, they have only hit half of this. So that's kind of the way I determine it, is I take both teams and try to divide it in half and see where, or like what they're looking like when it comes to, like, when it's coming to that over or under. So I went ahead and divided it in half and gave them a point benefit. So the only time the Thunder hit half of the over, which is 107, they've only hit it 3 times this year, but they did actually cash it tonight as I'm recording this video. So technically 4 times. They have cashed this over 107 4 times this entire year. So 4 out of like 20 something. So that's not very good odds when it comes to the Thunder. So if the Thunder can't score very much, or very well at least. They definitely showed that tonight. They scored really really well tonight. So they had a little outlier, but I think they're going to get back into it for sure. And then the Grizzlies, they just can't score without Ja Morant. No real shocker there. I mean, Ja is just a phenomenal player. So that's my second pick. Thunder and Grizzlies under 215, minus 110 odds. Next we have, this one is going to be my favorite play of the day. I don't know. I personally really like all of these plays, so truly I'm not going to put out and say like my best bet of the day, because I truly do really like all 4 of my plays today. But this is one that I'm probably most confident in, and it's going to be Cade Cunningham, under 4.5 assists versus Phoenix, minus 125. I'm pretty confident in this one. He has cashed the over, in just 7 games all year. So he is not even 50% covering on this over. He has not cashed in the last 2 games that he has played. The Suns are also a top 10 team when it comes to defense. As we all know, the Suns are a very good defensive team, so it's going to make it very tough for when Cade passes the teammate the ball for them to be able to hit a shot, because they're just such a good defensive team. Detroit only averages 21 assists per game anyway, so that is as a whole. That's as an entire team, which is, I think, like the 3rd worst in the league. So you're looking at assists from him, you're looking at assists from Jeremy Grant, you're looking at assists from Killian Hayes, you're looking at even just a couple from Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart. So they have a lot of people that can pass the ball on that team. So 21 assists is not a whole lot to go around. So I'm taking my chances on that one. And another thing is, he may honestly be guarded by Mikal Bridges. We all know how good of a defender that Mikal Bridges is. And he just might be guarded by Mikal Bridges, making this extremely, extremely tough on him. Because here's the thing, is like, Cade Cunningham is a very tall point guard. Chris Paul is not going to be able to guard a very tall point guard. Chris Paul is 6'3". He's going to match up better on a guy like Killian Hayes, or just someone a little bit smaller than Cade Cunningham. And so I think that Mikal Bridges is gonna pick up the rook. So that's gonna make it very tough on him. And then also there is a lot of blowout potential in this game. Basically what I'm saying is, Phoenix is already favored by 13, so this game could get out of hand very, very quickly. So if it does get out of hand extremely quickly, you know, we could see Cade Cunningham kind of just taking a back seat, trying to score a little bit more, not really caring too much, you know, all that stuff. So I'm pretty confident in that pick. That's probably my favorite play of the day, but I don't have a necessarily best bet. I really like all my bets today. Next, in the final play actually is going to be one that I personally like a lot, and it is going to be CJ McCollum over 25.5 points versus the San Antonio Spurs, minus 110 odds. I really, really like this bet, to be completely honest with you. Damian Lillard's out. So, I mean, with Damian Lillard out, that's definitely just that opens up so many shot opportunities for a guy like CJ McCollum, who is like a second star to Damian Lillard, or like a co-star in general. The Blazers really don't have a whole lot of scoring outside of Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. I mean, they have some more defensive guys. Like, I mean, Nurkic is he can do a little bit of both, but like Robert Covington, mostly defense. They have Larry Nance, who they kind of brought in for like defensive purposes. They have Simons, who's actually pretty good. I like Simons a lot, but I mean, he's not going to take up that many shots, especially not away from CJ McCollum. So the Spurs are like the bottom 10 in the entire NBA in defensive points per game. So they give up the top 10 like most points to opposing teams in general. So that leaves a lot of room for CJ McCollum to be able to get his points. And I guess CJ just wakes up and feels dangerous when he's going against the San Antonio Spurs, because in his last 5 games against the San Antonio Spurs, CJ has hit this over 4. So you're looking at an 80% cash percentage. So I really like my odds with this bet. I think that this, I mean, I'm very confident with this one, and I'm really confident with all my picks. I need a sweep day. I need a perfect sweep day. I'll bring out the broom. I'll be going crazy. I'll be going crazy if we can land a 4-0 day. So hopefully this is going to be the one. So that is going to do it for me for today. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Once again, we are going to be going with our deal here. We're going to be going with our deal. If you guys take any of my bets and they do end up cashing for you, you guys got a sub. All right, it's just a deal. It's just a deal. But no, for real. So thank you guys so much for all the support you guys have been showing. But yeah, if you're new, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. This is King Center signing out. Peace.